Hey guys, Trainer DC here, coming at you with another video. Pokémon Legends Z-A was announced on Pokémon Day being February 27th of this year, and we haven't really had any news since the initial announcement of the new game. So today in this video, I wanted to discuss with you guys when we could possibly be hearing our next bit of information regarding Pokémon Legends Z-A. So just a quick rundown as to the history of games being announced on Pokémon Day. Over the past, 4 to 5 years, majority of the games that Game Freak and the Pokemon Company comes out with are announced on Pokemon Day being February 27th. In most cases, what they do is they have a period of time where there is absolutely no information, which is the window that we're in right now. Usually from February till around the late spring, early summer is the period of time where we really hear nothing regarding the next iteration of Pokemon, the new games that are coming. So for Pokemon Legends Z-A, I am expecting us to get our next announcement either sometime in the month of May or in the early parts of June. If I had to guess with this situation, given that this is a game that is slated for a 2025 release date, most likely in the early parts of the year, I would venture to guess that we're probably not going to hear about it until the later part of May, if not the early part of June. The bigger question when it comes to Pokemon Legends Z-A though is what announcement is going to happen? What form will it take? Is it just going to be a random YouTube video they throw up that's a few minutes long showing us some gameplay and a few new Pokemon and just the setting of the Kalos region during this period in time? Or is it going to be a part of a bigger Pokemon presentation? That is something that obviously we do not know, and a bit of further speculation to add on to this is what platform is this game coming to? Yes, we do know it is coming to the Nintendo Switch, but there has been a lot of speculation out there that this game could also be coming to the successor of the Nintendo Switch, to the Nintendo Switch 2, maybe with an enhanced version at launch, kind of like what they did a cross-generation release for Breath of the Wild back in the day when the Switch first came out in 2017. It had its Wii U version and it had its Nintendo Switch version. So is this game going to get something like that? That remains to be seen as well. And if it doesn't get a cross-generation release, I would still venture to guess that it will have some new improvements on the new Nintendo Switch, on this next generation console, the Switch 2 we'll dub it for now. I would imagine that it has some graphical upgrades on the Switch 2, some performance upgrades if you will. So either way, that could be possibly why we haven't seen it yet as well, any gameplay, because they don't want to show off this new console yet. The rumors are right now out there that the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be revealed in June, so maybe this Pokemon presentation will coincide with the reveal of the Switch 2. Furthermore, adding on to this as well is, of course, I've speculated before, as many others have, that there will be another Pokemon game coming in the not too distant future, something coming this fall, most likely taking the form of a black and white remake. This is something that, of course, many amongst the community have speculated on. I'll leave a card above to my videos on that if you want to hear me go in detail on those topics, but if they're having a bigger Pokemon Presents, I would imagine that those games would be announced in that presentation, as well as some new details regarding Legends Z-A. But the one thing I do want to say about the Pokemon Company before I sign off on this video is I really do dislike the way that they market their games. Like, yeah, they announce every game on Pokemon Day, we know this, outside of a few exceptions, like, for example, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were announced in May, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were also announced in May, Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, going back a decade, they were announced in May as well. So it's not like every single Pokemon game is announced on Pokemon Day, but over the past few years, that's pretty much been what to expect. The only other instance where something hasn't been announced on Pokemon Day is with the Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC that was announced back in January of that year. It wasn't actually announced in February, but nevertheless, most games are announced on Pokemon Day. And every time they do this, as I said before, they always have a period of time where we don't hear anything about the game. All of March, all of April, and usually, if not all of May, parts of May, and then the beginning of June is when we'll really start to ramp up hearing information on these new games. And to me, I just don't understand the logic behind that. In my opinion, a steady trickle of information would be much wiser for them to do than to have this huge gap where we just hear nothing about the game, because it's like we have this lull period right now where there's not as much to talk about regarding Legends Z-A other than speculation that's really just community speculation founded on nothing, because we know very little about the game. In my opinion, although I do love the announcements on Pokemon Day, I think it would make a lot more sense if they just announced their games every May or every April and just gave a steady trickle of information. Maybe once a month you have a big big reveal of something new regarding that game, because right now it just doesn't make sense with the way their cycle goes. It doesn't make sense that we have 3 to 4 months of no information, then every single month we're getting jam-packed with information. I just don't understand the logic behind that, and to me it's just poor marketing, because why have it be that we have a 4-month period of time where no one's talking about your game, then to ramp up your marketing cycle or your hype season, if you will, by releasing videos every single month showing off new aspects and new Pokemon that are coming in the new game. I just feel like if you want to still keep to that February Pokemon Day announcement, because I do think there is a bit of, something special about getting a new game announced every Pokemon Day. It's something that the fan base looks forward to every year, at least I know I do. If you still want to keep that February announcement, maybe don't have it that you have a 3 to 4 month window of nothing to announce. Maybe keep that to like a month, month and a half, then slowly start to trickle out some information until you get to May or June, where you have your big blowout where every single month we're getting new information. I just feel like these lulls we get into after every Pokemon announcement aren't the greatest thing for the game's marketing cycle and hype season, because it's just a period of time where the community isn't really talking about it all that much. Like, what do we have to go off of for Legends Z-A, really? In reality, all we really have to go off of is the logo for the game and that map of Lumio City. That's pretty much it. We don't know anything else regarding the game. We know megas are coming back, but we don't know if it's going to be the megas that, every single mega that we had in the past. Are they all coming back? We don't know what new megas we're going to get. They didn't show us anything. The perfect way, in my opinion, to keep this hype season going, especially if you don't want to reveal something this early, is to just like put a little teaser out there. Maybe put like a silhouette of Greninja and say like, oh, what is this strange Greninja form? And then obviously you're teasing Mega Greninja, and then maybe in a month or so, or in a couple weeks after that, you show Mega Greninja for the first time. Kind of like how back in the X and Y days, when they showed Sylveon, they said, what is this new Eevee evolution? It looks a little strange, and then we find out later on it's the fairy type. Then with Mega Mewtwo Y, they showed off this Pokemon, and they said, oh, what is this strange Pokemon resembling Mewtwo? I wonder what connections it could have to the Pokemon, and we all thought it was Mew 3. That's fun. That's a fun way to hype up your games, as opposed to right now, basically, they say nothing, and then when they do start to give us information, they're just going to show it to us. They're just going to show us what Mega Greninja looks like, what Mega Chestnut looks like, without having any sort of build up to it. It's just not as fun as it used to be with Pokemon when they're marketing, in my opinion at least. I just think they have a very poor marketing team, and I hope going forward that they start to realize that they could do a lot more with their marketing cycle and make it a lot more for the fan base. They have tried in recent years with like the Hisuian Zoroark video that they put out for Legends Arceus, and with the Galarian Ponyta video they put out back for Sword and Shield. Although that Galarian Ponyta video was pretty terrible in my opinion. It was a 24-hour live stream to reveal Ponyta. They should have made it like a 1-hour stream at most if they wanted to go down that route. But nevertheless, hopefully we hear something soon for Pokemon Legends Z-A. But in my opinion, I think we'll most likely get our next bit of information either at the end of May or the early parts of June. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. What do you guys think about Pokemon's marketing cycle? Do you like the way they handle things, or do you wish they did things a little bit differently and didn't have this huge gap where we get no information? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from Trainer DC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.